The first step in CNC programming is applying a setup. In this lesson, we're going to go step by step through the process, so let's get into it. In the last lesson, we overviewed and designed the part that we're going to be using as an example for the rest of this chapter. Now, it's time for the hard part, is picking out the raw material and that we're going to be manufacturing that part from. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is that these raw materials come in bar stock lengths. We talked about this in the first semester, so go back and overview it in more detail. But remember that they come in a set dimensional size and a long stick of it. We're going to then cut that down into sections that we can then put inside of our machine. Now these come in a lot of different flavors, and we're going to see how we can change those to match the part size and pick out the right one for our design. Coming also over to the board though, it's a great way to see on these two diagrams how we're going to center that part inside of that billet material. Now from this side profile here, that billet material needs to be larger than our part. If, say, our billet material is not as tall, we're going to be cutting off the top of our part and we're not going to have anything to machine up there. We're going to be needing a taller piece of material. Additionally speaking, what we're going to be looking at is having additional thickness on each side so that we can have a machined surface all the way around this. If, for instance, we'll go ahead and erase this, draw in our billet here. If our billet is in line with the bottom of our part, we're going to have a raw material surface on the outside of the part. This can sometimes be the only way that you have to do it and is okay to do if that's what you want at the end result of your part. The goal though is for us, even from the top view here, is to have a section on the outside of the part. So from left to right, we have a little bit of area and we need a machine, as well as the top and the bottom of our part, front and back. That's what our end goal is. How you position that part inside of the billet, though, directly impacts how you're going to machine and program the part moving forward. Now that we kind of see it on the board, let's jump into CAD and check it out how we see it there. In Fusion, we're going to be working in the manufacturing tab pretty much for the rest of this chapter, and we're going to be working from left to right in this ribbon in complexity as we move forward. The first thing I want you to see is in the setup area here, we don't have a setup underneath it, so we need to create a new setup. We can do this two different ways. We can right click here, clicking on new setup, or we can click on setup up here in the ribbon. Once we have that new setup open, we're going to see a new dialog box pop up that we haven't seen before. The first thing we need to do is fix our orientation to match the way that we're going to be machining this part. On this part, we can select the X and Y plane that we want, or X and Z plane. Here, once we have that, we can do Z axis. We're going to select this vertical face here. That's going to flip our direction. However, our Z is not positive down, it's positive up. So we're going to flip that axis. And our X, we're going to have it right to left in a longer manner. So we're going to select this one as well. We can see here now we have the X, Y, Z flipped into an orientation that makes sense. Note that it's different than our origin plane that we have in our original design. These two do not have to match. The programming side does not care. Now we can select where we want this to be essentially zeroed out. For this part, I'm just going to select this bottom left corner here on our stock. This doesn't really matter. This matters only on the way that on the manufacturing side for the machinist to set up the machine correctly. Now that we have that selected, we're going to move over to our stock tab. Now stock is where we can set the overall size of the material that we're using. At the very top, there's a mode drop-down menu. If we look at that, we can see a lot of different options here. The first thing that we're going to see is fixed size box. This is going to be if you're working off of a standard billet size and you just want it to be locked in space. Relative size box is going to be working off of the part size and adding a tolerance to the outside of it. We also have fixed cylinders for turning operations. And we also have additional ones down below that are going to reference other setups as well. And we're going to see those in more advanced lessons here in a minute. Now, on this one, we're going to do fixed size box. And from the stock that we have available to us, we're going to select 2 by 2 by 4. Actually, we're going to do 2 on our Z. We're going to do 2 on our Y and 4 on our X. We just need to make sure we put those in the correct orientations. From here, I can rotate this part up We can see that part is floating in space with lots of room around it. However, if this is the only stock option that you have, then you have to use that material and you're going to end up wasting more material. If, say, I had a smaller piece of material here that is, say, 1.5 by 1.5, we can then start looking at this on fitting. But however, we can see that this ends up being not a large enough piece of material where we have the part sticking out the sides. This is really, really important to see. You have to have enough material in order for it to efficiently be made out of that part. Changing this back to 2x2, this is what we're going to be making these out of. We can also see that these are set to center. So we can change, say, that Z, like we talked about on the example on the board, to offset from the bottom. And we can change that offset, if we rotate this part over here, to anything that we really want. We can change this to be 1/4 of an inch from the bottom or 0 from the bottom, essentially setting that part at the very, very bottom of the raw material. Note that unless you're going to flip it over and machine, is going to be a raw stock finish. For this example though, I am actually going to leave it at the very bottom. And the last thing we're going to talk about is post-process. Now in the previous chapter, we talked about work coordinate system offsets. Now this is going to be the position in which the machine is seeing it in space. So the offset from the machine's home. 0 is going to be that G54 that we talked about in that G code. If I change this to 1, we're at G55, and so on and so forth. We're going to leave this one at 0, but this is a great place to see that we can change that, as well as designate a program name for the machinist. Now that we click OK, we have this billet size, even though it looks a little oversized. We're ready to now start programming our material. Now that we understand the basics of setups, in the next lesson, we're going to go over the difference between 3 and 5-axis setups. So we'll see you on the next one.